before the night deepens, before sleep fully arrives, take a moment to notice the simple act of breathing. Not changing it, not guiding it, just noticing the soft rise and fall of your chest, the gentle pause at the top of each breath, the quiet release as the air leaves again. The day has been long in ways you don't need to name. Thoughts may still be moving, circling, replaying moments that no longer need your attention. And that's okay. Tonight, there is no need to solve anything. Somewhere far above the noise of the world, beyond busy roads and glowing screens, there is a place where time slows naturally, a place that waits patiently for night to arrive. High in the Alpine mountains, where snow-covered peaks rest beneath the stars, stands a quiet watchtower, old, steady, unrushed. It has watched countless nights pass without asking anything in return. The air there is crisp but gentle, filled with the clean scent of pine and distant snow. The sky stretches wide and deep, a soft canvas of midnight blues and scattered starlight. Wind moves slowly, respectfully, as if even it understands this is a place for rest. This is not a place of vigilance or alertness. This watchtower no longer watches for danger. It watches for calm. Inside its stone walls, warmth gathers quietly. A lantern glows low and steady, casting golden light that doesn't flicker or hurry. Wood creaks softly as it cools in the night air. Silence settles like a blanket. And as you imagine yourself approaching this place, you don't feel tired in a heavy way. You feel gently relieved, as if something has lifted from your shoulders without you asking. You are welcome here. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to change. The mountain does not rush you. The night does not question you. The watchtower does not expect you to stay awake. It simply offers stillness as this story unfolds. Allow your thoughts to slow with it. If your mind wanders, let it wander gently. It will return on its own if your awareness fades. That's even better. This story is not meant to be followed closely. It is meant to be felt and then released. The night is steady, the mountains are quiet, and sleep is already nearby. You find yourself on a narrow alpine path just as evening deepens into night. Snow rests lightly along the ground, not deep enough to slow your steps, just enough to soften every sound. Your boots leave faint impressions behind you, but even those seem to fade almost immediately, as if the mountain prefers to remain untouched. The path curves gently upward, winding through tall pines whose branches are heavy with frost. They stand quietly, unbothered by the cold, their presence calm and protective. Every now and then, a breeze moves through them, producing a low, soothing whisper. Not sharp, not sudden, just a reminder that the night is alive. Above you, the watchtower waits. It rises slowly into view as the path clears. A stone structure set against the mountainside, strong and simple, its silhouette softened by snow. A single warm light glows from one high window, steady and reassuring. There is no urgency in your climb. Each step feels deliberate but easy, guided more by comfort than effort. Your breath stays slow, matching the rhythm of the mountain itself. The cold air feels clean as it enters your lungs, refreshing rather than sharp. As you walk, the world behind you seems to grow quieter. Concerns from earlier in the day feel distant now, not erased, just unimportant. They don't follow you up here. They remain below, tangled in places where you no longer are. The higher you climb, the more expansive the night becomes. Stars emerge clearly now, unobstructed by city glow. They seem closer somehow, scattered generously across the sky, each one calm and constant. There is comfort in their steadiness, the sense that some things simply continue, no matter what. When you finally reach the base of the watchtower, you pause, not because you are tired, but because something inside you has already begun to slow. The stone beneath your hand feels cool, solid, reliable. This tower has stood through countless winters, countless nights like this one. It knows how to endure quietly. A wooden door stands slightly ajar, warm light spilling softly onto the snow at your feet. Inside, calm waits, and you step forward slowly, easily, ready to leave the climb behind and enter the stillness within. Part 1. The Quiet Alpine Watchtower. You step inside the watchtower and the door closes behind you with a soft, wooden hush. The sound does not echo, it settles. Warmth greets you immediately, not the sharp heat of a fire, but the gentle, steady warmth of stone that has been holding warmth all day and now releases it slowly into the night. The air smells faintly of pine resin, old wood, and something quietly comforting, like dried herbs tucked away long ago. The interior is simple. Stone walls curve upward, their surfaces worn smooth by time. A narrow staircase winds gently along the wall, leading higher into the tower. Lanterns rest in iron brackets, their flames low and calm, casting golden circles of light that never strain the darkness, only soften it. Nothing here is loud. Nothing demands attention. You take a moment to simply stand and breathe. Your shoulders loosen without effort. Your jaw unclenches. Even the space behind your eyes feels wider now. There is a bench near the wall, covered with a thick wool blanket. You sit, feeling its weight settle comfortably across your legs. The fabric is rough in a familiar, grounding way, the kind that reminds your body it is safe, supported, held. Outside, the wind brushes the tower gently, but the walls are strong. Inside, the world feels still. You notice small details. A shelf carved into the stone holds a few objects, a compass with a faded brass rim, a folded map softened by age, a notebook whose pages have yellowed at the edges. None of them feel urgent. They feel like memories resting quietly, content to be remembered or forgotten. Time behaves differently here. Minutes don't stack up, thoughts don't spiral. If a thought appears, it drifts by like a cloud, noticed, then gone. Eventually, you rise and begin to climb the staircase. Each step is wide and worn, shaped perfectly for unhurried movement. Your hand rests lightly on the stone wall as you ascend, feeling its cool steadiness beneath your palm. The spiral turns slowly, giving you time to adjust, to breathe, to feel each moment as it passes. With every step upward, the night outside seems to grow quieter. At the top, you reach a small observation room. Windows open in all directions, offering wide views of the alpine world beyond. Snow-covered peaks stretch into the distance, glowing faintly under moonlight. Valleys rest below like dark oceans of shadow and peace. The sky above is vast and endless, filled with stars that seem to shimmer more gently than anywhere else. You don't feel small looking at it. you feel calm. A single chair faces the largest window, positioned perfectly to take in the view. You sit, letting your body settle into it naturally. The chair fits you easily, as if it was made with no one specific in mind, and therefore suits everyone perfectly. From here, you can watch the night unfold without participating in it. Snow begins to fall. At first, just a few flakes drifting lazily past the glass. Then more follow, moving slowly, gracefully, without any urgency. Each one catches the lantern light briefly before continuing its quiet descent. You find your breathing matching their rhythm. In, out. Your thoughts slow to match it too. There is no past pressing at you here, no future waiting to be planned. Only this moment, steady, gentle, complete. The watchtower does not watch for danger anymore. It watches for moments like this. Moments where nothing needs to happen. The lantern flame flickers once, then steadies again, its light unwavering. Shadows move softly along the stone walls, slow enough that your eyes don't need to follow them. Your eyelids feel heavier now, not in a forced way, but in a natural, welcome way. The kind of heaviness that comes when your body recognizes it is safe enough to rest. You lean back slightly, still gazing out at the mountains, at the falling snow, at the quiet sky that seems to hold everything without effort. The night is deep now, and the watchtower stands quietly with you, sharing the stillness. Part 1. The watchtower settles. You remain seated by the window, wrapped in the quiet warmth of the watchtower. The chair supports you effortlessly, its wooden frame firm yet forgiving. You shift slightly, not because you need to, but because your body naturally finds an even more comfortable position, the kind that signals to the nervous system that vigilance is no longer required. Outside, the snowfall thickens. Though it never becomes loud, each flake drifts with intention, but no urgency. They fall as if they have all the time in the world. The mountains beyond remain still, their outlines softened by the snow and moonlight. Sharp edges blur gently, turning peaks into smooth silhouettes. Even distance feels kind here. Nothing feels far in a way that creates longing. Everything feels placed exactly where it should be. Inside the tower, the lantern continues its quiet glow. The light pools on the floor, warm and circular, touching the stone walls without climbing them. Shadows move lazily, stretching and shrinking with the subtle sway of the flame. There is something deeply reassuring about how predictable it is. The way it never flares suddenly, never dims unexpectedly. You notice your breath again, not because you're trying to control it, but because it has become so slow, so calm, that it gently draws your awareness back to it, in and out. Your chest rises easily, your shoulders remain relaxed. Your hands rest loosely, fingers no longer holding anything at all. The watchtower seems to respond to this stillness. The faint creaks of wood settling grow quieter. The wind outside eases into a softer whisper. Even the snow seems to fall more slowly now. This place has learned how to rest, and as you sit there, gazing into the alpine night, you realize something gentle and important. You are not here to observe. You are here to pause. Nothing is expected of you, not reflection, not insight, not understanding. You don't need to think about where you came from or where you're going next. Those ideas feel far away now, softened like the mountains in snowfall. A sense of quiet permission spreads through you. Permission to stop scanning. Permission to stop listening for what might come next. Permission to simply be. The watchtower has seen countless nights like this one. Nights where the world slows until it nearly stops. Nights where everything unnecessary fades into the background, leaving only warmth, breath, and silence. Somewhere below, far beyond the tower, the rest of the world continues. But it cannot reach you here. Up here, time stretches gently. Minutes dissolve into moments. Moments dissolve into calm. Your eyelids flutter once, then rest heavier against your eyes. You don't force them closed. You let them decide on their own, trusting your body's quiet wisdom. And as the night deepens further, you sense that this watchtower is only the beginning. Beyond these walls, beyond this single moment of stillness, the alpine world continues to unfold slowly. Valleys breathing under snow, forests resting in moonlight, paths winding peacefully through the dark. There is more calm waiting, not exciting, not dramatic, just deeper, softer layers of rest. The watchtower has done its job. It has brought you safely out of the noisy, out of the movement, and into a space where the night can begin to carry you forward. Without effort, without direction, without thought. And as your breathing slows even more and your body sinks fully into comfort, the story begins to drift outward, away from the tower itself and into the wider alpine night. The watchtower fades gently behind you, not disappearing, just becoming less important. Its warmth remains with you, settling into your chest like a steady ember, while the world beyond begins to open slowly, quietly, into the wide alpine valley below. You are no longer climbing or descending. You are simply drifting. The valley rests beneath the mountains like a long, calm breath held in stillness. Snow lies everywhere, not heavy, not harsh, but soft and even, smoothing the landscape into gentle curves. Pines stand scattered across the slopes, their dark green softened by white, their branches bowed slightly in peaceful surrender. Nothing here feels cold. The air is cool, yes, clean and crisp, but it carries no bite. It feels supportive, almost kind, as it moves across your skin. Each breath fills your lungs with clarity, then leaves slowly, taking any remaining tension with it. You move through the valley without effort. Your steps leave no sound. Your presence causes no disturbance. It's as if the night itself is guiding you, carrying you forward at exactly the right pace. Above, clouds drift lazily across the moon, dimming and brightening the valley in slow cycles. The light changes gently, like a heartbeat, never sudden, never sharp. Shadows stretch and soften again, until even contrast feels unnecessary. You notice how quiet it is, not the kind of silence that feels empty, but the kind that feels full of space, full of rest, full of permission to stop thinking. Your thoughts, if they appear at all, are slow now. They don't connect to one another. They don't build momentum. They rise briefly, then dissolve like snowflakes landing on warm stone. Somewhere in the distance, a frozen stream lies beneath the snow. You can sense it rather than hear it. The idea of water resting, paused mid-movement, content to wait. Even motion has learned patience here. You come to a gentle clearing in the valley. The snow here is untouched, smooth like a blank page. The surrounding trees form a natural circle, their branches reaching inward protectively. The space feels intentionally open, as though it was made for rest rather than passage. You pause, not because you need to, but because your body chooses to. Standing here, you feel grounded. Your feet feel heavy in the best way, connected to the earth beneath the snow. Your spine lengthens naturally. Your shoulders drop another fraction lower. Breathing becomes slower still, in and out. Each breath feels deeper, fuller, easier than the last. The night sky above this clearing feels closer somehow. Stars shimmer softly, not bright enough to pull your attention, just bright enough to reassure you that everything is steady, constant, unchanged. You sense that this valley has existed like this for a long time. Not frozen in time, but settled into it. It doesn't rush through seasons. It doesn't anticipate spring. It rests fully in winter, trusting that change will come when it's ready. That trust seeps into you, the pressure to move forward, to decide, to fix, to plan. It loosens. You realize you don't need answers tonight. Questions feel distant now, like sounds heard from another room. They exist perhaps, but they don't require your attention. The valley doesn't ask who you are or where you've been. It doesn't ask what you're carrying. It simply holds you. You slowly lower yourself into the snow, not cold, not wet, just soft and supportive. The ground beneath you feels surprisingly warm, insulated by layers of quiet. You rest back, gazing upward, feeling the earth support your full weight without resistance. Your body understands this position. Muscles release. Joints settle. Your jaw unclenches again, even more than before. Snowflakes drift down, some landing lightly on your coat, others dissolving before they reach you. None of them linger long enough to matter. Your eyelids grow heavier now, not heavy with exhaustion, but heavy with comfort. The kind of heaviness that comes when the body feels safe enough to rest deeply. Around you, the valley breathes. Trees creak faintly as they shift under snow. The wind sighs once, then quiets again. The sky holds everything in place. Nothing interrupts, nothing changes abruptly. And slowly, almost without you noticing, your awareness begins to soften around the edges. Thought gives way to sensation. Sensation gives way to stillness. You are no longer moving through the valley. You are part of it. The mountains stand watch in the distance, not alert, not guarding, simply present. The watchtower above remains where it is, but it no longer matters whether you return to it or not. You are exactly where you need to be, and as the valley continues to rest beneath the stars, the night deepens further, inviting you gently onward, out toward even quieter places. You don't notice when the valley begins to fade. It doesn't disappear suddenly. It doesn't pull away. It simply softens, like a thought dissolving before it finishes forming. The snow beneath you feels lighter now, as if the ground itself is breathing with you. With each slow inhale, the world gently expands. With each long exhale, it settles again, deeper, calmer, quieter. Somewhere between breath and stillness, you find yourself rising, not floating upward, not lifting, just becoming less anchored to the idea of movement. The mountains that once stood in the distance now feel closer, not physically nearer, but emotionally present. They surround you, tall, ancient, and utterly calm. These mountains do not loom. They do not press. They simply exist, vast and patient. Their slopes are softened by snow, every sharp edge rounded by time and weather. Moonlight brushes across them like a gentle hand, revealing textures that feel more like memory than stone. You sense that these mountains have watched countless nights pass. They have seen storms arrive loudly and leave quietly. They have seen seasons change without announcement. They have seen people arrive with heavy minds and leave lighter, often without realizing why. The mountains never interfered. They never needed to. Their stillness was always enough. As you rest within their presence, something inside you begins to mirror them. Thoughts slow further, not because you are forcing them to stop, but because they no longer have anything to lean against. Without urgency, without noise, without pressure, thoughts lose their weight. They drift, they thin, they fade. Your awareness moves inward now, not in a searching way, not in a questioning way, just gently inward. You become aware of the quiet space behind your thoughts, the place that has always been there, patiently waiting beneath layers of thinking and effort. It feels wide, uncrowded, safe. Breathing becomes almost automatic now, in, out. Each breath is smooth, unbroken, like a slow wave reaching shore and retreating again. Your chest rises and falls in an easy rhythm that requires no attention. The cold alpine air no longer registers as cold. It feels neutral, balanced, perfectly matched to your body. Your hands feel warm. Your feet feel heavy and grounded. Your face softens completely. Even the muscles you didn't realize you were holding begin to let go. The space behind your eyes darkens gently. Not black, not empty, but deep and comforting, like the inside of a quiet cabin at night with the lights turned low. You sense the watchtower again, not visually, but emotionally. It feels like a quiet thought in the back of your mind. A place of perspective, a reminder that distance exists between you and whatever once felt overwhelming. From here, everything feels smaller, manageable, unimportant, already settling. The mountains seem to breathe with you now. As you inhale, they rise subtly. As you exhale, they sink back into stillness. This shared rhythm creates a feeling of belonging, as though you are not separate from the world around you, but gently woven into it. You realize something quietly, without words. You do not need to carry everything alone. The night carries some of it for you. The mountains hold the rest. Whatever worries once followed you here now feel far away, not pushed aside, not denied, simply placed down gently, like a heavy bag set beside the door after a long journey. You don't need to pick it up again tonight. The stars above blur softly, their light diffused by thin clouds drifting lazily across the sky. Each star glows without effort, shining simply because that is what it does. There is no striving here, no comparison, no expectation, just presence. Your awareness continues to sink, deeper than thought, deeper than memory, into a place where time feels slower, almost irrelevant. Minutes stretch, seconds dissolve. You could stay here for a long while, or drift onward without noticing the change. Both feel equally peaceful. The mountains remain steady, unwavering, offering their stillness freely. They ask nothing in return. And as your body grows heavier with rest, your mind lighter with calm, the night gently prepares you for the next soft shift, one that brings even more ease, even more quiet. A transition so smooth you may not even notice when it begins. At some point, the night grows quieter than quiet. not empty, not still in a rigid way, but full in the way a pause between heartbeats is full. You sense it before you understand it. A shift so gentle it feels like sinking into warm water rather than moving forward. The mountains, the snow, the watchtower all remain, yet their edges soften even more. Nothing asks for your attention now. The world no longer needs to be observed. It simply holds you. Breathing slows further, each breath longer than the one before. As if your body has learned a new language, one spoken entirely in ease. In, out. The cold alpine air feels almost velvety now, resting against your skin without sensation. Even the idea of temperature seems unnecessary here. The watchtower stands behind you, quiet and watchful, not as a place to go back to, but as a symbol of perspective already gained. You do not need to climb it again. Its work is done. Ahead, the landscape opens into a wide, snow-covered plateau. It is not vast in a way that feels lonely, but spacious, inviting, endlessly calm. Snow drifts across its surface in slow, graceful movements, like silk curtains stirred by a gentle breath. The sound of the wind is barely there now, not a whistle, not a rush, just a low, almost imagined hum. The sound of the night thinking slowly. You step into this quiet without effort. Each movement feels smaller, slower, lighter. Your footsteps leave shallow impressions that quickly soften, as though the snow is not interested in keeping records, and neither are you. The past loosens its grip completely here. There is nothing to review, nothing to replay, nothing to fix. Thoughts that once demanded attention now pass like distant clouds, barely noticeable, already dissolving. Your body responds first. Your shoulders sink fully, your jaw unclenches. Your hands rest open and relaxed. The space around your heart feels wide and unguarded, like a door left gently ajar, allowing warmth to circulate freely. Above, the sky deepens into a richer shade of night. Stars glow softly, some hidden, some visible, none competing for brightness. They coexist effortlessly, each one content to shine at its own pace. You sense that the night itself is guiding you now, not leading, not directing, just accompanying. The plateau seems to slope gently downward, inviting you to settle rather than continue. You follow without thinking, guided by comfort alone. Eventually, you reach a place where the snow is undisturbed and smooth, a natural resting point shaped by time and weather. You lower yourself here easily. The ground supports you completely. There is no hardness beneath you, only a firm, gentle steadiness that feels deeply reassuring. The snow cradles rather than chills, adjusting itself to your presence as though it has been waiting. Your breathing becomes almost imperceptible now, soft, slow, effortless. You are no longer aware of individual breaths, only the continuous, soothing rhythm they create. The mountains encircle this space like guardians, their silhouettes barely visible in the dim light. They do not block the sky. They frame it. Everything feels held. Your mind rests in this feeling, not thinking about it, not naming it, simply experiencing the absence of strain. If a thought arises, it is gentle and fleeting, more like a sensation than an idea. It drifts by without forming words, without attaching emotion. The kind of thought that fades even as it appears. Your awareness sinks lower, deeper into the body, into the weight of your legs resting heavily, into the warmth in your chest, into the calm behind your eyes. Time stretches thin here. Moments no longer stack, they blend. You sense that nothing more is required of you tonight. No understanding, no resolution, no effort. Just rest. The plateau, the mountains, the watchtower, they remain steady and unchanged. Standing watch while you release yourself from vigilance. You are safe enough to let go, safe enough to drift, safe enough to sleep. And as the night continues its slow, quiet unfolding, it gently prepares you for the final easing, the long, dreamy wending down, where even awareness becomes soft. A place where sleep is no longer something you move toward, but something that simply arrives. There comes a moment when even the idea of resting becomes unnecessary. You do not try to sleep anymore. You do not wait for it. You do not move toward it. You simply allow the night to carry you. The snow beneath you feels less like a surface and more like a quiet presence, supportive, patient, unchanging. It does not press against you. It holds you in the way still water holds a leaf. Your body has grown wonderfully heavy now. Not weighed down, but anchored. Every part of you settles exactly where it belongs. Your legs sink deeper into ease. Your arms rest without instruction. Your spine releases its last hidden tensions, one gentle space at a time. Breathing happens somewhere far away now, in, out, so slow it barely registers. The mountains seem farther and closer at the same time. No longer objects to notice, but part of the same calm field you're resting within. Their quiet strength surrounds you without asking for attention. Even the watchtower feels distant now, its purpose fulfilled, its presence fading into memory. Like a comforting thought you no longer need to repeat. The night sky above softens further, stars blurring gently as if seen through half-closed eyes. Their light is no longer sharp, only a faint glow. Like embers behind frosted glass, time loosens completely. Minutes no longer matter. Seconds dissolve. There is only this slow, continuous now. Thoughts do not form sentences anymore. They appear as sensations, a warmth, a softness, a sense of floating, and then fade before becoming anything else. Your mind, once busy and watchful, rests at last. Not because it was told to, not because it tried, but because there is nothing left to hold on to. The wind has gone silent, not stopped, simply quiet enough to become part of the background. Like a distant lullaby hummed by the mountains themselves. You feel the night breathing with you, matching your rhythm, following your pace, never rushing. There is a sense now that the world is smaller, not confined, but simplified, reduced to only what is essential: warmth, safety, stillness. Your awareness drifts inward, downward, as if sinking through layers of softness, each layer slower, deeper, more forgiving than the last. You do not resist this sinking. You trust it. Muscles let go one by one. The forehead smooths completely. The eyes rest deeply in their sockets. The tongue settles gently, no longer holding tension. Even the space behind your thoughts feels open and quiet. There is nothing to solve here, nothing to improve, nothing to become. You are already enough. The alpine night seems to acknowledge this silently, surrounding you with a calm that feels ancient and wise. The kind of calm that existed long before effort, before worry, before words. Snow continues to fall somewhere far above. You do not hear it land. You only sense its presence. A soft layering of quiet upon quiet. Each imagined snowflake feels like a gentle closing of a curtain. Another signal that it is safe to drift. Your breathing becomes even slower now. So slow that the pause between breaths stretches wide and comfortable. In those pauses, there is nothing, and nothing feels perfect. Sleep approaches not as an event, but as a soft merging, like fog blending into night, like warmth blending into stillness. You no longer feel the boundaries of your body clearly. Where do your arms end? Where does the snow begin? It doesn't matter. Everything blends into the same calm field of rest. The last fragments of alertness dissolve quietly. No sudden drop, no edge, just a gradual dimming. Like a lantern turned lower and lower until only a faint glow remains. And then even that softens. The night fully takes over now, holding you, guarding you, letting you drift exactly as you are. There is nowhere else to go. No next step, only sleep deep, slow, natural. And you slip into it gently, without effort, without thought, carried by the quiet of the alpine night. Now there is nothing left to follow. No path, no words to remember, no images to hold. Only the gentle knowing that you are safe and deeply at rest. The night does not ask anything from you. It does not hurry you. It does not expect you to drift faster or deeper. It simply stays, like a quiet presence beside you. Steady, calm, patient. Your breathing moves on its own now, slow, natural, easy. Each breath softer than the last. Each pause between breaths a little longer, a little more spacious. You do not need to listen closely anymore. You do not need to imagine anything clearly. Even this voice can fade into the background, like snow falling so gently, it makes no sound at all. Your body knows exactly how to rest. It remembers. It remembers how to let go of the day, how to release every small effort, how to sink into the comfort of stillness. If thoughts appear, they are welcome, and they pass just as easily. Nothing needs your attention. Nothing needs your energy. You are allowed to sleep deeply now. The quiet alpine night continues around you, unchanging, protective, warm in its own silent way. Somewhere far away, the mountains remain still. The sky stays dark and soft. The snow keeps falling without purpose or pressure. And here, you rest. Your mind loosens completely. Your body grows heavier and lighter at the same time, as if you are gently floating downward into a place where effort no longer exists. There is no beginning here and no ending, just rest, just ease, just sleep. You don't have to stay with these words. You don't have to follow them. They can drift away now, one by one, until there is only quiet, only warmth, only the slow, steady rhythm of deep rest. And as the night continues to hold you, you drift further into sleep, peaceful, undisturbed, exactly where you need to be. Good night and rest deeply.